Throughout the last 3 years of my trading journey, I've been able to put together a set of criteria that's helped me kind of overcome a lot of the obstacles that I was facing on my journey towards consistency and profitability. See, before I used to do a lot of strategy hopping. I used to kind of, find whichever trader that I liked on Instagram or YouTube and do exactly what they were doing. And I quickly realized copying, pasting their strategies and the way that they are going about trading is not going to be the recipe for success. The unique thing about trading is it's so unique to every single trader and every single person. And you have to understand what works for you. You have to understand your personality. And again, that takes a lot of time outside of the charts, outside of trading to really understand who you are and spend that time, alone. Keep it short. A lot of the content that I'm trying to create is to kind of help my past self. So people who are still trying to find that consistency, find that profitability, and really find, a strategy or two, or understand how to even find a strategy that's going to help you become profitable. So I want to share the 4 different pieces of criteria that I always look for before taking any trade, because when it comes to trading, it's not simply just pressing a button of buy and sell, although that's how easy it might seem. There's so much more to it. So these are just 4 small key pieces that have helped me personally that I try to stick to each and every single day as I'm looking to take setups and looking to take trades. First one is always looking for key levels. For me personally, I am a break and retest trader. So for me personally, I always mark out the pre-market high and the pre-market low, the previous day high and the previous day low during the pre-market hours as I'm waiting for the market to open. So when those levels are broken, whether it be the pre-market high, the pre-market low, previous day high, previous day low, I look for a breakout, and that gives me the indication that there's a potential setup there for me to take. That's only one small piece of it. I try to avoid taking trades within those 2 ranges, and I also try to avoid taking trades simply out of a breakout. The reason being is because the upside is so minimal. Yes, you can catch a quick move, but there's so many different aspects to it. It really depends on your entry, your exit. And it's, for me, the downside is greater than the upside, so I try to avoid, again, just simply taking breakout trades. The second piece and component or criteria you can call it that I look for is looking for a retest of my broken key levels. So usually after a breakout, I like to see volume, and I like to see the trade coming, the trade coming back to touch one of my key levels, whether it be, again, one of those key levels that I mentioned before, the pre-market high and low and the previous day high and low. And I also like to look for a confirmation candle. So for example, let's say the pre-market high was broken and I'm looking to go long. So what I would look for is a confirmation candle going long. So a green candle, whether it be on the 5-minute time frame or the 3-minute time frame, that's just to show me that, hey, this is the trend and I'm entering on a trend with the confirmation with volume. So that's my second key indicator that I look for before taking any trade. The third confirmation that I look for before taking any trade is understanding where my exit is going to be if the trade is to go the opposite way. So for example, let's use the example that I used in the previous point of me trying to go long off of a pre-market high break and retest. I would want to know exactly where my exit would be in case the trade doesn't continue going long and for whatever reason ends up going short. For me personally, I don't want to get too specific in this video, but usually I like to look for a 5-minute close under the pre-market low if I'm looking to go high, for example, and then vice versa if I'm looking to go short, if there's a close on the pre-market high above that key level or a close above or below the 5-minute candle previous. So again, you have to kind of play around, and as you're kind of putting in the time of backtesting and putting in times behind the chart, you'll understand what criteria works for you, what your risk tolerance is. And again, that just takes a lot of time and patience within your trading journey. But again, the key to really becoming a profitable trader and finding consistency within the markets is making sure that your winners are larger than your losers. Not every single day is going to be a green day. If you can look at the biggest traders out there right now, they're not, a lot of them don't even have a high success rate. A lot of them have a 50 to 60 win rate, 60% win rate. But the reason why they are successful in trading is because their winners are outweigh their losers by a very good amount, whether it be 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever the case is. So you really have to make sure your winners are larger than your losers, and the only way to do that is making sure that you have proper risk management put in place and knowing where your exit is going to be before even entering a trade. And the fourth and last point is I never try to fight against the trend. So I always look for an entry that goes with the trend. So for example, if I'm looking to go long, I like to look for entry going long. Same thing vice versa, looking to go short. That's why I like to wait at least 5 to 10, 15 minutes after market open before even looking for a setup. But again, that can vary on a day-to-day basis. But the only way to kind of support that is looking at the volume. So I always like to see volume before entering any trade. If there isn't volume, most of the time I'll sit out on that setup, because again, the only way to really determine a trend is kind of seeing where the volume is at. So again, I don't want to get too deep on this video. I'll probably do more videos that kind of go in depth within each criteria, because there's a lot more that goes into it, but I wanted to keep this one very high level. Again, over the past 3.5 to 4 years, I've kind of been able to develop these 3 to 4 different tips and criteria that's helped me kind of stay patient and stay disciplined before taking any trades. So I hope that these can at least 1 or 2 of them can help you out. But again, if you guys have more ideas on what you would like to see me talking about, or if there's any adjustments or any tips that you have for myself or anything that we can share with one another, I'd love to hear that. But yeah, looking forward to talking with you guys soon.